he gonna wheel himself out and he drops a bag. The black lady gonna say,
oh, it's maggots.
and I'm like, where do you see maggots at? I'm in the freaking chair like this now because she said maggots. Your girl don't mess with maggots. So when she said maggots, I hopped in the chair like this and I'm looking at the maggots move. But at the same time, I'm not laughing because I'm like, I don't like maggots either. So I could feel you. What is up with my gang? What is up with my squad? T-Gang in this thing. What's poppin' with y'all? What's up, T-Gang? Welcome back to my channel. So today I am about to tell you guys a story time about when I worked at a convalescent home for 2 days and I quit. So smash the like button, comment something you want to see below, comment whatever the funniest part of the story time is, if there is any funny parts to you, and subscribe and click the bell. Join the gang. If you're new, then definitely subscribe because we're going nowhere but up. And follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me on my Instagram. _is Tania's World, and follow me on my TikTok. It's Tania's World. I'm probably gonna be doing TikToks after I'm done filming this story time, but I do have 2 other videos for you guys. It's probably gonna be these 3 videos, and then I'm probably gonna go missing for like 2 weeks because, well, probably not 2 weeks, but probably a couple days because I'm getting a tooth pulled. So that's why I'm about to be making back-to-back videos for you guys. I'm gonna get to the story time, so stay tuned. So pretty much I had just turned 19, so my birthday is May 31st. This happened probably like June 6th. My mom was cool with the supervisor, so I worked at my mom's job. My mom is a CNA. Literally COVID had just hit and I was out of work, so I was still employed at my job, but they pretty much closed everything down. So everything that was open was like hospitals and stuff for like people needed help with medical and stuff. My mom helped me out and she got me a job because she was cool with the supervisor. So the supervisor hired me, but my mom told her to like wait to start me until after my birthday because we was doing something. What I had to do is I had to sit at the door. I had to sit at the front door where all the employees come in at, and I had to write their name down. I had to ask them COVID questions. So if you don't know what COVID questions is, pretty much like, have you had a fever of, I don't even know, 100? Ain't it 100? I don't know. I swear to God, I never really asked them the questions because they knew the questions themselves and they knew I was new. So we just made this easier and they was like, all questions is no. I probably could have got fired for that, I'm not sure. But they told me all the questions was no, so I'm pretty sure they knew all the questions. But I had to ask them COVID questions, I had to take their name down, and then I had to write their temperature. And if they didn't have a face mask, I would provide them a face mask, and there was hand sanitizer and stuff. That's what I would do sitting at the door. I don't even remember that position's name, but that's what I pretty much did at this convalescent home. So I worked nights, so I started at 2:30 and I got off at like 10. No, I got off at 11. So I started at 2:30, and this was so freaking messed up, y'all don't understand. My mom got off at 2:30, so if I had to work the day my mom had to work, I would see my mom leaving as I'm coming in. I hate seeing people that I know leaving work as I'm coming into work. Like I get a little jealous. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I get a little jealous. I would start at 2:30, my mom would get off at 2:30, so I would get off at 11. I would be getting home freaking eating late. I had one job, I worked at Walmart, where I would get off at 10. Now that was a cool job, getting off at 10. I still have 2 hours before like midnight. I mean, pretty much 1 hour, but y'all know what I mean. That was a cool job getting off at 10. So this job getting off at 11, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay for like a couple months, get a couple checks in, and I'm probably gonna find something new. I started noticing this is not my kind of job because it was an old man. He used to like wheel himself up and down the hall, and every time he would see me, he would make a noise like he couldn't talk. So every time he would see me, he would just make a noise, and I would like give him a smile, but I couldn't because I got a face mask on. And I'm like, I'm trying to be polite, but how do you be polite if you got a face mask on and you can't, like, he can't hear me? So I would smile. It was this old lady. She reminded me of my great grandmother that passed. Rest in peace to my granny. But she reminded me of her, and she flashed me one day. Like, this is the crazy type of stuff that go through convalescent homes. Like, there was some cool people, don't get me wrong. So the first day on the job, it was cool because the supervisor got off the same freaking time my mom got off too. As I'm coming in, one of my mom's friends, her boyfriend or whatever he is was like trying to train me before he had to go. So I'm like, everybody's leaving and I have no idea what to do. So what I did is I took as much information as my mom's friends, boyfriend or whatever, gave people that was coming in if they spoke clear English, because at this job it was a whole bunch of other like people with accents. I don't have a problem with other people with accents, but I be real life trying not to be rude. So I'm not saying nothing's wrong, but I be really trying not to be rude and be like, huh, what'd you say? I didn't hear you. Can't say it again. I be trying not to be rude. So all the people that didn't have accents, I was like, do you like, can I do this? And then they were like, yeah. So my first day, it was pretty cool. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst. That day went by, it was long because you're just sitting there. It's pretty much you would just sit there and wait. So when my shift started, people that was coming in at 2 or 3, that's who I would check in, and then I would sit there all this time until like 8, 9 o'clock. So imagine sitting there doing absolutely nothing. It sounds cool until you sitting there at night and you can't look out the window, people going to sleep, like you hearing people snore, patients yelling, and it's a whole bunch of chaos. I'm sitting there trying to kill time. The first day went by smooth. This is where I said convalescent homes is not for me. I really believe that when COVID happened and you would drive by a convalescent home and it's like, heroes work here. Heroes do work there, and I'm another type of hero. I could save you in something else, but that's not my kind of job. So I worked the first day. That was like June, I think I worked June 1st. So I worked the day after my birthday. No, it wasn't the day after my birthday because I think it was June 2nd or June 3rd. That was my first day. So then I went back the next day, and this is where the story time gets a little juicy. This is where I was like, I could come the next couple days I have to work and then quit, or I could just quit right now. So I chose to just quit. Well, actually no, I was gonna try and like keep going for like a couple more weeks, get a couple more checks. I got my first check and it wasn't even that much, because I was like, I can't take it, I can't do it. So I got off at 11. So this happened at like 9. Everybody going to sleep, everybody getting fed. So she was either a nurse or a CNA. I'm not really sure which one she was. I think she was a nurse. She always seemed like she had an attitude with me. So I wasn't really, I would talk to her, but then I wouldn't like really talk to her, because if you give me an attitude and I feel like you don't really like me like that, then it's kind of just like, I don't really care. It was me, a black lady, a black dude, and an Asian girl. All 4 of us. When it was a dude, I'm getting grossed out just thinking about what's about to come out of my mouth. The Asian girl goes outside for her last like 10-minute break. The black dude came and asked me something. He had asked me for something that I had. I don't remember what he had to ask me for. The black lady is checking on patients, so we all like in the same area, but we all doing something different. The Asian girl comes in, the black lady leaves for a second, and then she comes back in, and the black dude is standing there too. They was talking, and then one of the patients decides to wheel himself out of his room, and he was a little grumpy this day. He gonna wheel himself out the freaking room, and he drops a bag. So when he dropped the bag, I look. I'm not supposed to touch nothing because that's not my job. So the black dude, black lady, that's their job. So they supposed to look, examine whatever's in the bag. I started to see stuff move. First thing I thought, I don't really see certain bugs. The way the bag was moving, it looked like it was a rat in the bag, and I thought I was seeing the tail move. So when I seen something moving in the bag, I'm like, okay, what is in that bag? The black lady gonna say, oh, it's maggots. And I'm like, where do you see maggots at? So I'm in a chair. Oh, perfect. I don't know if y'all like this angle for the story time, but it's perfect for what I'm about to show y'all. I'm in the freaking chair. I've never did all this in a freaking story time a day in my life. I'm in the freaking chair like this now because she said maggots. Your girl don't mess with maggots. So when she said maggots, I hopped in the chair like this and I'm looking at the maggots move. Let me tell y'all why it looked like it could have been a rat. Because this man had freaking spoiled broccoli in a bag and he just set it there because he was having one of his little moody days. I didn't really pay him no attention earlier in the day when he gave me an attitude, so when he dropped it I was like, oh snaps. he's having one of those days where he just want to pull everything out of his room. I think it was the black lady. She was like, hand me the bleach, hand me the bleach. So I handed her the bleach, and I'm, shoot, take the bleach, I don't care, like, just take it. I'm not touching what he just dropped on his floor. So she took the bleach and she twisted the top and she poured it on the bag, and they just all started just looking like they was dying. And I was just like, ugh. The black dude, okay, now I was trying to figure out before telling y'all this story how I could describe it without sounding messed up. I don't have a problem with like the gay community. Some of my friends is gay. We all have gay family members. But this dude, before I finish the story time, if y'all say that I done said something messed up, you seriously have a problem. Because I just told y'all I don't have a problem with gay people. But this dude, because I can't describe what he's about to do in this story time without y'all knowing, because it's gonna be a little bit more funnier when I say what he said. Well, I don't really remember exactly what he said, but I remember some of what he said. So this dude, the black dude, he was like really freaking tall, and he's really big. And I'm like, these little freaking maggots is scaring you? He said, oh, I don't like maggots or something like that. And he just started moving his head like this, and I was laughing. But at the same time, I'm not laughing because I'm like, I don't like maggots either, so I can feel you. He's super cool. I feel where you're coming from. Like, I don't mess with maggots either. The Asian girl walked out and she was like, I just went outside and threw up. And I was like, are you serious? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, ooh. This man got everybody scared of these maggots right here. I'm like, I went home, I thought about it, I was like, I don't think I'm going back. I couldn't do it because I was like, if I have to sit here, now I just told y'all I get off at 11. This happened at like 9 or 10. So I had to still sit there after the Asian girl went home, because she went home first, then I went home. The black lady, she has to check on other patients. The black dude, he has to check on other patients. So I'm like, I still have to sit here with this man that he could just pull anything else out of his freaking room. Like, how am I gonna get in contact with somebody if he does something else? Like, I will real life run out this door and never come back. Ever. I just decided to text my supervisor and I was like, I found something new. I was like, and it's kind of crazy because I think I jinxed myself, but I think I jinxed myself for the good. I texted her and I was like, Walmart just hired me, and I had never worked at Walmart a day in my life, so it was kind of crazy. I think I jinxed myself for the good. But I texted her and I told her Walmart hired me, and she was like, oh well, I appreciate you for trying the job. And I'm like, thank you. She's still cool. That's not my kind of job. In my eyes, that's not my forte. That's not something Tania likes to do. I told her like I appreciate it. Pretty much that's what happened. He dropped the bag of maggots and I was like, this is not for me at all. So smash the like button, comment something you want to see below, comment whatever the funniest part of the story time is, because when the black dude said what he said, that's where I thought it was a little funny. If you're new, then definitely subscribe because we're going nowhere but up. Follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me on my Instagram, @real_is_Tania's_world, and follow me on my TikTok, _Tania's_world. I'm gonna probably be doing TikToks after I'm done doing this story time and my 2 other reactions for you guys. So until next time, remember, it's T gang or no gang. We out.